Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? Back again here in the Dojo offices with my Caddyshack shirt on, waiting to get to work. So I want to cover this real quick. Yesterday, the video came out, the mini documentary of my match with my son, and I had a lot of great responses. I had a couple hundred views in a couple hours, and I know more is going to come. I thank everybody who commented and DM'd me about it, and what a good story it was. And there's obviously a lot more into it as well, but that was just the highlights. I thought Indie Handshake did a tremendous job filming it and catching some emotions. And of course, like always, Little Bishop stole the show with his freaking comments. Little kid's too much. But I had some feedback from it, and it just goes to show you my frustration with the wrestling world, and mainly trainers, guys who train people and what they train their students. There's so many students now that get into the business and they know how to leg slap, or know the new move from Japan, or know what they think is called lucha because they run a bunch of moves at one time, and the guys don't teach them about the business and about etiquette and about just how professionalism works. And one of the comments I had came from a couple people on the same subject. One was from a pretty new student who I've known for about 6-7 months, maybe a little bit longer. That they've worked shows here and there. And a nice kid, a really nice kid. And if you watch towards the end of the match, I hit Titus with the cutter, which got a little fucked up because just the timing. But I go to pin him, and you hear me say thank you. And so the student acts, acting like the schoolgirl who heard the latest gossip of which little boy likes what little girl, and says, "Oh, well, yeah, that was a great match, but I heard you say thank you." I was like, "Okay, cool. I'm glad you heard that." And they were like, "Oh, well, if it was your son, would you be thanking him?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh, I just don't see why you'd say thank you." And I was just, not to use a big word, but befuddled that a student, a wrestler who wrestles matches, who's supposed to be properly trained, would not know why you say that. Now, did I mean for the camera to catch it? No, but it's just one of those moments that the camera's, inside the ring pretty much, and they caught something. But when you're wrestling somebody and you what they call go over, and I can, the curtain's been pulled back on wrestling, so I can say a couple things about the business. But when you go over on somebody, it is customary, respectful, and it is your freaking right to tell that person thank you right after you're going home, right as you're pinning them. It's one of the most respectful things you can do, is put somebody over, and you should be thanking that person for doing it, because end of the day, they don't have to do it. They could choose to not be on the show, or just, if they're a real shooter, change the fucking finish. So you thank them for basically, putting their credibility on the line and putting you over, man, making you look good and taking the L for you. And it's so weird to me that you wouldn't teach that to your students. That's just part of the respect of the business, is that I know more guys go into teaching their students how to do the kayfabe handshake wrong, but they do it, or teaching them what fucking carny is, and they don't know what carny is. They're speaking kayfabe. And anyways, I can get into that all day, but it just fucking befuddles me that trainers nowadays can show guys 50 fucking wrist locks, but not show them why they do a wrist lock, or when they do a wrist lock, or why they shouldn't do a wrist lock. Or every fucking indie move they see on Ring of Honor or AEW, they can show them those moves, but don't teach them common courtesy. A couple things I don't see anymore is when guys get to a show, shake everybody's hand. They'll shake a couple people's hand, and then they wait for the person to come talk to them or come say hi to them. And this is part of the reason why Vinny got a bad reputation, is because he wouldn't go shake a Greenhorn's hand. The Greenhorn owes it to the vet to go shake his hand. And at the end of the night, when the show's over, not only should you go say thank you to the other wrestlers, but the ring crew, fucking ring announcers, refs, the promoter, of course, because you're getting your payout, but everybody. It's, I teach my kids, when the show's over, go shake the ring crew's hand. Shit, at next level, I was thanking the film crew. You thank everybody for who made you look good that night, or is doing their part to build this company, and not enough people teach that anymore. That's why there's so much heat and animosity and ego in wrestling, and there's always some sense of ego, but I don't know, it just fucking baffled me. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, you're paying how much for your training? And I've seen your matches and they're okay, but I'm like, you don't even know the basic freaking etiquette, and so that concerns me. But nonetheless, I digress. That's what the thank you was about, and anybody worth their fucking anything in wrestling would know that. I've told a bunch of people that, and a bunch of people have told me that. So if you're working somebody and they're not thanking you after, if you put them over, it's generally a sign that they're fucking don't know what they're doing. They weren't trained right. Sorry, I just, in my opinion. Some people, I guess, just do what they do, but I've wrestled guys who've been made livings off of this stuff, who've been WWE, NWA, and everywhere, and they've thanked me for putting them over. I wrestled Rick Steiner, he thanked me. I wrestled Chris Masters, thanked me. Gangrel thanked me. Sean Davari, first time we wrestled, he thanked me. Next time I went over, so of course it would. Just all these plethora of people that I've wrestled have thanked me. Shit, guys who I've known on the indie circuit, Thornstowe, Vinny, Legend, Isadora, all these guys, even up in Oregon, Sullivan's, fucking Ethan HD, Santiago, and Drexel, and all those guys I've wrestled, and who we put each other over, we say thank you, and it's not a vet thing, a rookie thing, it's just a fucking wrestling thing. And I think guys need to go back to teaching the proper ways to do things, and that's just one of those small things. But when it gets lost, more shit gets lost, so let's trainers, let's ease back on so much of the spots, teaching kids spots and teaching them basic etiquette. The spots and shit they can come up with on their own when they're in the fucking ring. So let's teach them basic fundamentals and etiquette. Anyways, man, I've bitched long enough. I'll talk to you later.